Hello everyone and welcome to my channel, Siriana Tarot. This is going to be a reading for Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs. This is going to be your waxing moon reading, which actually took place on May 29th, but it's going to take us all the way until June 5th when we have that full moon in Sagittarius. I do apologize, this video is coming out a little bit late. I had some inconveniences to deal with, but anyway, but here it is. This is an exciting time. You know, our lives are infused, injected with energy as we're trying to really get our new moon manifestations off the ground and bring them to fruition. So we're trying to get things done, we're taking action, and then we're going to see, you know, what we're releasing and what's coming about by this full moon in Sagittarius on June 5th. So without further ado, my Virgos, you guys were calling on me. I'm Virgo rising, but I was trying to decide who to do next, and it was like Virgo, Virgo, Virgo. So, all right, let's see what Spirit has to say for you guys. What messages we have for my dear Virgos, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs from May 29th through June 5th. We're going to invite Spirit, angels, ancestors, loved ones who have passed, spirit guides, and ascended masters to this space to deliver the messages for Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs. Messages for Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs from May 29th through June 5th. Yeah, I like that, Virgo. Yes, Virgos. Standing up for yourself. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, Virgo. This has not been easy. This has not been easy. Gosh, you're so almost there. You're so almost there, Virgo. Don't give up now. You guys have been putting up the good fight. Your overall energy is the Two of Wands. The Two of Wands in reverse tells me that there's a little bit more patience and planning that's needed. It really takes me back to that Ace of Wands. There's passion, there's movement forward. You've got the fight in you and you're supported in doing so, but I can see it's not very easy. We see this person here. He's quite wealthy. He's feeling a little bit boxed in by whatever his responsibilities, his wealth, his business, his relationship, his home, you know, his responsibilities. And he's really looking, it's like a little bit of boredom I'm getting. He's looking out at the globe. And again, this could really be being in quarantine or sheltering in place. This, you know, need to sort of travel, this need and this want and desire to travel. But this showing up in reverse is saying, okay, let's take it a little bit. We're going to have to take it a step back, okay? Because maybe that can't happen right now. You know, not everywhere in the world is opening up quite yet. All right, so underneath there, we have the Five of Swords in reverse, okay? So the Two of Wands in reverse for me is that passion, is that fire, is that support for you to do what is calling you, okay? And Spirit's got your back. Your spirit guides, your, you know, ascended masters, your angels are all supporting you on this journey. The Five of Swords, this is you. I think you've decided to walk away from some petty BS. You've decided to walk away. You might have been fighting for something and you realize, why am I fighting for this? This is not actually even what I want, and I've lost sight of it, you know, of what is really truly important to me. And I think you're really moving into a space of healing and rest and rejuvenation, or wanting that. Yeah, because there's been sadness, there's been heartbreak, there's been betrayal. This is trauma, this is disappointment. Okay, it could be a third-party situation, or it could be anything. It could be any sort of sadness, heartbreak, trauma that you've experienced in your life. It could even go back to childhood. Remember, we do have a lot of retrogrades going on, so we might be triggered by past events that we thought we had healed and cleared, but we still need to sort of sit with that and really, really heal them. And I can see, my Virgos, my goodness, you guys have been putting up the big fight, the good fight. You guys finding your inner strength. I think this is something that maybe you had been ignoring, okay? Whether it was, you know, whether you're in a relationship with someone and you were just sort of letting them get away with disrespecting you, they were constantly crossing your boundaries. It could be a work relationship, it could be a boss, it could be a family member, it could be a lover, it could be a life partner. But I see you here also stepping up, taming your inner demons, stepping into your strength, Virgo. This is you. You are grounded. You know what you have to do and you're doing it. And you know what? You're bracing yourself because there's a lot of intense cards in this reading. Okay, what's surrounding you? You have the 10 of Swords in reverse, which takes me back to that 9 of Swords energy. Which is about feeling exhausted. You're tired. You've been putting in those extra hours. You've been doing the dirty work. You've been doing the shadow work. And, you're bringing something to a close and you're releasing. I think this is, if it hasn't been for many years or go back to your childhood, it goes back to previous lives. This is a karmic cycle that you're bound and determined, and spirit as well is helping you to release and to get out of. What's blocking you? You have your energy. You've got the Hermit energy. Some of you might be Leo Virgo cuspers, right? Because I have the Strength card and the Hermit card showing up. This is a need to maybe take time for yourself. I'm getting some of my Virgos out there are very empathic, and being around a lot of energies, a lot of different energies can be really, really draining, especially if there's been any of that 5 of Swords energy, if there's been bickering, if there have been disagreements, or somebody's really made you have to be very clear about what your boundaries are. Okay, so there's, and you may not be willing to pull back at this moment because you feel like you've got a lot to do, but Spirit's saying, it's really important that you do. And there's the reason for this isolation, Virgo, is twofold. One, so you can just sort of get in touch with your inner wisdom. You can see things from a different perspective, for enlightenment, for peace and harmony. And then also, it's so people can't get in touch with you. So, so there might be energies that are sort of pulling you. You might be in this beautiful vortex at times, and then if you have somebody pulling you out of it, or you're being pulled out of it because you want to help someone, or you want to react to someone or something. And so I'm sort of picking up on that energy, that need for you to be on your own for a bit. And whether that means just going for a walk, again, earthing is going to be really, really functional and beneficial for you. Or is it, running a bath and lighting some candles and sitting there with a glass of wine, whatever your style of, isolation is or looks like. What's driving this situation, Virgo, is the 5 of Pentacles. 5 of Pentacles is Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn energy. More explicitly, it's Mercury and Taurus. And it's about, I'm getting that your needs really weren't getting met here. Whatever this was, whether it was a job or it was a relationship, I'm really picking up love or money. And your needs weren't being met. And you got to a point where you were like, this isn't worth it. Okay, again, I'm picking up on this boredom here. Somebody who's feeling extremely enclosed by, maybe you have a lot of bills. You might have a lot of payment plans for things like electronics, or for your car and for your house and for this and that. And you're having this sort of shift in perspective of like, why am I a slave to all of these things? You could feel that way about a particular relationship as well, if you feel like you're constantly bearing the burden, and getting more than anything, it's financial. But it could be, my Virgos out there are very sensitive and actually very nurturing, loving beings, souls. So, I think you've gotten to a point where that you need to walk away. Now, the 5 of Pentacles is oftentimes about a spiritual journey as well. And it's very similar to that Hermit energy, sort of needing to, take a different perspective. These people, they don't have a lot. But what's more important is where they're going. And they're actually passing up a warm church that probably has food and probably has, warm coffee or tea or chocolate or something like that. And they're really cold and they're barefoot and they're weak. But they're pushing forward because there's something bigger going on here. Okay, and that's what I get, Virgo. And some of you might be deciding to cut your losses. If you've been in a situation or a relationship where you have shared assets or something like that, and you're like, what, I actually just need to take this time for me, or I need to, take my own journey. All right, so we do see the Eight of Swords showing up. This is Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. More specifically, it's Jupiter and Gemini. We do have Jupiter retrograding. I don't know the dates, but you guys should check it out and see what that means for you personally and all of this Gemini energy. So the Eight of Swords is all about worst case scenario. And, you know, I often, there's a lot of similarities between that Gemini and Virgo energies because you're both ruled by Mercury, right? And Mercury is, you know, is about all this information. And this is sort of over analysis paralysis. This is overthinking. This is anchor, you know, telling yourself, you know, making things out to be worse than they really are. And I feel like you've had an aha moment here where the blindfold is coming off. And you're also recognizing, you know, the Eight of Swords in reverse takes me to that Seven of Swords. Someone or something wasn't balanced. Someone or something wasn't either sharing information with you when they should have, or, you know, or somebody was taking from you, whether that was time, energy, love, money, resources, or is it, you know, your astronomical car payment or something like that, where all of a sudden you're looking at this beautiful car that you own and you're like, really? Is it worth it? You know, and that's just a metaphor. I don't have anything against material. You know, I don't have anything against luxury and having a nice car and things like that, but I think there's been some sort of shift for you, okay? Focusing more on the spiritual rather than the material, okay? So what you're thinking about, what's coming in, this is judgment. This is judgment day. This is taking a look at what you are bringing to the table. I'm getting a lot of you are also taking a look at what your legacy is or is going to be, and I think that the beginning of this process for my Virgos was an OSHIT moment, you know, and saying, you know what, I actually, you know, I see my Virgos out there doing a 180, you know, I see my Virgos out there saying, I just can't do this anymore. I can't maintain the status quo. And a lot of you, I think, are with this judgment energy. You're answering the call to do what's, you know, to respond to your higher purpose, to your higher calling, okay? And that's going to be different for all of you. And it's also up leveling. I mean, it's this success. It's really taking a look at what you bring to the table, okay, in your life. What's your legacy? What do you need to release in order to move up a level? Okay, is it a person? Is it a thought process? Is it a behavior pattern? Is it negative self-talk? Is it over-focus on the 3D rather than the 5D, the spiritual? Okay, so what's coming towards you, or what's in your near future? We get the Nine of Wands, and this is beautiful because this is my card of the Wounded Warrior. Okay, and you know, the Hermit card is also the card of number 9. We have the Ten of Swords, which is also a number 9. Nines are telling me you're completing this cycle. It hasn't been easy. It's been a tough one, but you are bossing up, Virgo, in a big way. These wands, they've taken lifetimes for you to collect, and you're feeling tired. You're feeling exhausted. You are strong, but all of this knowledge and all of these experiences have given you an authority unlike anybody else, okay? So beautiful energy for my dear Virgos. So I'm going to go ahead and pull some energy oracle cards for you guys. For my Virgos, May 29th through June 5th. Again, my apologies for getting this video out a little bit late. I can tell why my Virgos were, yeah, look at this. This is your call to action. Yep. And, you know, even if it's turning away from luxury, not all of you, right? It's not that you have to go and be an ascetic and, you know, put on a sackcloth and walk up to the mountain. It's not that, but it's like you really taking action to find this balance, to really see what is meaningful and what has purpose to you, either in your life or in your relationships. All right, Angel of Balance. Yeah, it's funny. I was just saying that, wasn't I? The importance of balance. Okay, balancing the masculine and the feminine. Maybe you need a better work-life balance. You could have been in a position or a job for many years or for a very long time where you were overworked and underappreciated. It could be a relationship where you were overgiving. You know, my unconditional loving, you know, Virgos, a lot of people don't realize how loving and sweet my, Virgos really are. 35. Here you also have 2 8s coming out. 88 is about abundance. Okay, it's about manifestation. So you have lots of 9s, lots of 8s. So Virgo, you are so almost there. So please don't give up, even if you're feeling exhausted or even a little bit confused. I'm getting some of you are like, I don't know how much longer I can do this. Spirit is going to reward you. 35, the first chakra, Archangel Michael. Archangel Michael comes to you when you're in the toughest of moments. He has his army and he fights for you, fights for your soul, fights for your protection. It's a beautiful energy to have around you and very powerful because Spirit's picking up on how hard you have worked. I mean, you have fought tooth and nail, Virgo, for whatever this is you are trying to do. The first chakra is funny. It's falling on top of the 5 of Pentacles. So it really does talk about your sense of survival. You had to face with some fears, sit with some fears about money or isolation, maybe even being alone. You might have abandonment, a lot of us do, so please don't take it the wrong way. Abandonment issues, worried about being alone. Maybe you're deciding to leave a relationship that gave you a lot of comfort, okay, but again, wasn't really aligned with your higher purpose or a situation or a job, okay, so it's really going to take into, it's really going to bring into focus your sense of belonging and stability. That first chakra, where are you, what is really rooting you and grounding you here on this earth, okay? So yeah, it's taking, it's scary, Virgo. There's a big shift here, but I don't get that you guys are scared at all. I think you're just like, you feel like you've been getting peppered left, right, and center, beat up and bruised. But you guys are fighting. You guys are fighters, and you have that strength. I mean, you guys are coming out with that Leo energy, guns a-blazing, okay? Not really. I don't advocate shooting or anything like that, but figuratively coming out, rip-roaring, ready to go, and door to Spirit, remembering that all paths lead to Spirit. 32 breaks down to a 5. Yeah, look at that. For some of you, this has to do with romance, and we get another 9 coming out, and relationships. But, this is also, this is a very spiritual journey. Some of you might be, as you guys already know, for a lot of you, as you do more work, enlightenment, up-leveling, healing, okay, you are going to notice that people and situations that previously brought you comfort no longer can. And people, situations are going to drop away as you are doing the work, as you are ascending, as you are healing. And it's uncomfortable. And that could be a lot of this as well. And it's something that, Virgo, I want you to know you're not alone. Even if you feel like you've been abandoned, or you feel like everybody's dropping away from me, these relationships might have, imploded. Again, we have a lot of retrograde energy going on. So, or a situation or a job, it might feel like, wow, this is something that I used to really rely on, and I can't any longer. And that's a really weird, hollow feeling at first. But Spirit wants you to know you're not alone on this journey, and it's all going to be worth it, okay? All right, so I'm going to pull some sacred geometry activation cards for you. Additional messages for Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs. You get crown chakra. I told you, my Virgos, major activation to the crown chakra. Okay, this is that ascension. You guys are doing the work. It has not been easy. The frequency of the crown chakra, the violet flower of life, supports our spiritual connection to the universe and our ability to transmute negative energy into light. Exactly. And I do pick up, there has been quite a bit of negativity around you, and maybe even, it was coming from you, all right, which is not me accusing you of, you know, you're low vibe, Virgo. No. But, you know, sometimes when, you know, we're out of balance, it manifests physically and mentally in these ways, okay? And whereas, you know, in the past, you were able to sort of release yourself from that negative self-talk and that self-doubt and the what coulda, woulda, shouldas and the what ifs and the maybes and the, you know, the sky is falling type energy, okay? And then we get consciousness. We get the frequency of consciousness supports our ability to focus our attention on all the multidimensional aspects that show up so that we can include them in our reality. Yeah, you guys are getting, my Virgos out there, you guys are getting a major, major upgrade. Major upgrade to that crown chakra activations. Yeah, and this is enlightenment. And there's been this really incredible shift in your life, okay? And it hasn't been easy. Final message for Virgo, I'm going to pull from the Mystical Shaman Oracle. This is by Alberto Villoldo, Colette Baron-Reed, and Marcela Lobos. I'm going to read from the book. These are powerful, powerful cards. So final message for my Virgos, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs. I want to go. Lightning. Oh, lightning. Ooh, I like it. The formidable electrical discharge of a lightning bolt brightens the sky and strikes the earth, accompanied by the mighty sound of thunder. This phenomenon has a positive aspect. The light illuminates the earth and the psyche. I told you. This is incredible. Virgo, this is that crown chakra. This is this awakening and this major activation to the crown chakra. Some of you might experience, you know, enlightenment symptoms. If you've been feeling a little bit funny lately, you know, just do take a look on the internet what those enlightenment symptoms might be. The bolt can burn and even kill if it's too strong. The forces of the upper world are investing their gathered energies to ignite you with a new inspiration and creativity. Yes. Allow this divine gift of awakening to take root in your being and enjoy a renewed sense of clarity, passion, and vision. And that is the truth, Virgo. Absolutely awesome reading. You guys, again, you guys are my spiritual warriors out there. You guys have been doing the work. I love you guys so much. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, comment, share, ring that notification bell. But most of all, I want to thank you for being on this journey with me. And I hope you have an absolutely beautiful day. Take care.